The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Megan Donovan. I am the Director of Marketing here at Suitebriar. I'm joined by Emily Cataldo, the VP of Channel at BetterCloud. BetterCloud is a SaaS Operations Management Platform. We're a very proud partner of BetterCloud and recommend the platform to our G Suite clients. I'm excited to have Emily on the call today to discuss how you can automate and govern the IT administrative blind spots with BetterCloud. So our quick agenda, we'll cover an overview of Suitebriar for those of you who aren't familiar, and then we'll move into who is BetterCloud, and Emily will get into a bit more in-depth into reviewing IT blind spots and again, how you can manage those with BetterCloud. So a quick housekeeping item before we begin. If you do have any questions, please feel free to enter them into the GoToWebinar question bar, and we'll be sure to address those at the end of the presentation. Great. So who is Suitebriar? Well, we are a Google Cloud Premier Partner, and we have been since 2010. Our seasoned team of cloud experts have extensive experience helping businesses of varying size and of various industries leverage Google Cloud tools for their business. We offer a number of services to ensure your business gets the most from the cloud. So very likely, if you're on this webinar, you've utilized our G Suite services, such as our migration and deployment services or change management. We also offer services around Google Cloud Platform, and that includes deployment and custom development. We do also offer business transformation services, which is an in-depth process that helps to determine if and how your teams can more efficiently leverage the Google Cloud tools available to them. So that's really maximizing the adoption of Google Cloud tools. Lastly, we do offer white glove support throughout our customer engagements, which means that as a Suitebriar customer, you can quite literally pick up the phone and connect with a representative to troubleshoot your issue or to discuss your project plan. So with that, I will hand it over to Emily to get more in depth into BetterCloud. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks so much for allowing BetterCloud to present today. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. To start, I wanted to share a little bit about BetterCloud and our history. As Megan mentioned, I manage our channel here at BetterCloud, so I'm responsible for all of our channel partners and programs. I've been actually in the G Suite and Google ecosystem for a little over 5 years now. So I was excited when the opportunity came up to join BetterCloud to work with our partners such as Suitebriar. A little bit of history about BetterCloud. So we were founded in 2011. The CEO and CTO actually worked at a services partner and realized there was a significant need from our G Suite clients around better management and control and functionality with the G Suite admin console. And so that's really kind of how the company started, was very much so a tool for admins to better manage G Suite. Over time, though, they heard feedback from customers that this wasn't a G Suite only problem. Many of the SaaS technologies are building for the end user experience around collaboration, ease of use, mobility, and aren't really focused or investing in the IT consoles and tools and admin tools. And so in 2016, they actually re-platformed the solution and built expanded the platform to have 10 connectors. So G Suite was the one that we've grown up with, but now we actually have 10 connectors across the product. Today we have over 2,500 customers in over 60 countries, and as you can see from this kind of logo slide, the logos and the customers that we work with span across all different industries and different sizes as well, from SMB, mid-market, and enterprise clients across these different industries. So a little bit about what we're doing. We did a survey of over 2,500 IT professionals, and the responses came back and said that IT professionals, 78% of IT professionals felt like they're just getting started managing SaaS applications or teaching themselves. We draw a lot of parallels to the mobile device management marketplace. So if you think about mobile devices, 15, 20 years ago, IT launched this amazing new technology and everyone was excited, right? You saw the headlines. It was all about Blackberries, Palm Pilots, users now being able to access email from their phones. And it was a really big win for IT, for organizations, and for employees and the end users. 5, 7, 10 years after they were launched, we started seeing headlines about all of the risks and security breaches associated with the devices. Palm Pilots or Blackberries being hacked, phones being stolen, devices being not secure and lost. And so the headlines were fluttered and covered with basically these security risks given the widespread use of mobile devices. And then we saw solutions like Mobile Iron, AirWatch, MDM solutions come to market. And today, really no organization would launch a mobile device policy, without policies or without an MDM provider. And so that's really how we look at SaaS, right? We know how this ends. SaaS applications were introduced, right? We saw the headlines around G Suite, Dropbox, Box, the great usability, collaboration. And now IT is just starting to realize all of the unforeseen risks and the issues that are surfacing because of these technologies and the significant effort it takes to really manage and secure these environments. And so that's where BetterCloud comes in to really help IT manage and secure their mission-critical SaaS applications. And the way we do this is really threefold. So the first thing that BetterCloud does is we help our clients uncover blind spots across their SaaS environments. So we allow for them to do investigation and discovery across the SaaS applications in a single pane of glass to really see what's going on and to get additional context. We do this by allowing you to really research and investigate across users, across groups, across files, across settings, and really do a deep dive and get full context in each of those areas. The second thing we do is we help enhance the available controls. So you'll see as I walk through a few scenarios, but we really serve as a deeper extension of the admin consoles and give greater functionality across the different products and tools. One easy example is around admin permissions, where we can give much more granular roles and permissions than many of the native admin consoles. We also allow you to take action, and so you're able to actually remediate after you do your discovery so that you can be alerted and also take action. Which then leads to kind of the third really big benefit of BetterCloud, which is automating all of this manual work. You'll see in many of our policies, we're able to take a process that is manual, maybe 15 to 20 steps, and we can automate it to run in the background and provide IT with basically an audit or a message once the process has been completed and kicked off. And so between our alerts engine, our remediation and take action engine, and our actual workflows, we're able to automate a lot of this work for IT. So we go far beyond just the investigation and discovery, but actually helping to enforce policies proactively up front. And we work very closely with clients to actually customize these policies based on our clients' posture towards security and towards the corporate environment and the culture. And that's really where a lot of our services providers, such as Suitebriar, help clients, is around this policy management and creating these policies to help them manage and secure their different SaaS environments. So a little bit about the customers that we've worked with and just a few of kind of the examples of how we've done this. Around uncovering blind spots, we have a client who's a hospital who discovered that 946 patient documents were shared through a scam that forwarded the emails to hackers. We see this in nearly, I will say, every single implementation we've had. We have discovered some sort of blind spot, whether that's been emails forwarded to personal Gmails, whether it's been files shared with competitors, whether it's been HIPAA information that was shared out externally or open in public groups. In every single implementation, when we walk through with the customers to set up the policies and do the investigation, we find really data is exposed, or there's security risks inside their environments, which is really why we call them the blind spots, because our clients just don't know that they're there. Around enhancing the available controls, we had a real estate company that we worked with who was filing for an IPO, and they uncovered and removed dozens of unauthorized users who had admin access. We also see this a lot, and a lot of this is around contractors. Many of our clients will have contractors leveraging their technologies and forget to offboard them in Slack or remove them from channels or groups in G Suite. And so really we're able to enhance the controls for both admins, but also who has access. And then the last piece around automating manual work, an example of this is our client Vox Media automates security policies across 9 applications. So this saves hundreds of hours and really reduces the risk of human error. That's one of the big things that we see is because many of these processes are manual, things can get forgotten or not properly executed. And so that's where the automation piece for us is so crucial. So our platform today supports the best-in-class applications. As I mentioned, we grew up in the G Suite ecosystem, but we've now expanded the platform for all of these technologies, and we see a lot of traction with and collaboration with actually these tech partners. We've got strong partnerships with them, and we work very closely with their product teams, their engineering teams to really align because we work so closely leveraging their APIs. And many of them see us as strategic for their clients, given the earlier point about the fact that they're investing in that end user experience and need a solution like BetterCloud to help IT manage their solutions. As far as the top policies that we see, so there's many different types of policies that our clients are leveraging us for. I'd say the top one that we see is really around onboarding and offboarding, just given how long this takes for IT, the security risks with not properly offboarding, and the ease of automation across different groups and settings to easily offboard employees. I'd say this is probably the top one that we see across our different SaaS applications and across our clients. We also see a lot around email forwarding, whether that's to personal Gmails, to competitors, or to others. We see a lot around publicly shared files. So file sharing and sensitive data is very important for our clients. Access roles, which I'll show an example of. And then groups, both with external members, but also public groups. We do a lot around license management, making sure that you're properly optimizing your licenses and offboarding or redelegating any licenses that aren't being used. And then the last one is really around files. We see a lot of files that are unfortunately shared with competitors, many of which are from former employees. And in all of these different policies, I'll tell you, we do see a lot of malicious behavior, but in many of these different areas, it's accidental. A lot of times, when too many people have access, right, they're making changes to the systems and not realizing the implications. And so a lot of the work we do when we uncover blind spots is really accidents that has happened either by someone who had admin privileges, someone who wasn't clear on what they were doing, or the level of access that they were giving to others. So the first example that I mentioned was around offboarding. So when we looked at the survey and asked for the percentage of ex-employees who still had access to their data, the IT professionals responded back, and 76% of them believe that former employees still have access to their organization's data. I don't know about you, this one shocked me, and obviously points out a huge risk for our clients around not being sure of who's accessing their data and accessing these systems due to improper offboarding. And so one of the ways that we accomplish this is actually a screenshot from the BetterCloud platform, which is just an example of a workflow and a policy that we set up to automate offboarding. So what you can see here is we use when, if, and then logic to create our workflows. And in this one, you can see when a G Suite user's org membership changes and the org unit is moved to offboarding, then it kicks off this 19-step process across G Suite, Office, Salesforce, Slack, and you can even see in steps 15 and 17 that BetterCloud actually allows you to build in durations. And so what this allows us to do is kick off that entire workflow behind the scenes and build it based on what our clients, the customization that our clients need in order to properly do this. And so, some clients, they want to send a Slack message to IT. Others want to have an approval process with the manager of the employee being offboarded before the accounts are deactivated. Some want to send an email to the security group after a certain amount of days to confirm and notify that the steps had been completed. And so here's where really that customization is key. Our clients can choose to customize this any way that they'd like to ensure that they're properly offboarding the employees. At the Google Next conference, which was in late July in San Francisco, there was a panel on extending and securing G Suite. And one of the BetterCloud clients, Full Screen Media, actually talked on stage. You can see the YouTube video, talked on stage about the benefits of implementing an offboarding or many offboarding policies across their environment. And they said that this process for any given employee used to take over 35 minutes, and they were able to reduce that to seconds behind the scenes. And so this is a really big opportunity for our clients to become more efficient and secure when leveraging these different SaaS applications. An example that we have of where this poses a significant risk, we were working with a venture capital firm who's one of our clients, and during their implementation, we discovered that across their SaaS applications, they had not properly offboarded all of their employees. And when we started to do some investigation around their Dropbox environment, we actually found that an ex-partner who had left 2 years prior still had access to folders in Dropbox, which were containing all of their sensitive deal information. So for the past 2 years, that partner, who was now a partner at their biggest competitor, was able to see the competitive deals they were placing and really outbid them. And so obviously this is will become a big legal issue, but it really came down to the fact that they just weren't offboarding employees properly. And so we see this not only as a challenge for large organizations, but really for SMB and small businesses and mid-market clients as well. In this example, it was a small venture capital firm, and just the number of systems that they had made it really tough for them to properly offboard in the past. And so by leveraging BetterCloud, they were not only able to do the investigation and discovery to uncover the blind spots of what had happened and the security risk and the breach that had happened, but they were also able to set up policies moving forward so that they didn't have to worry about not offboarding employees properly in the future. The second blind spot, which I kind of hit on earlier, is around admin permissions. So in our survey, we asked, what is the number of super admins that you think your organization has? And the majority of the IT professionals that we surveyed, again, it was over 2,500, came back and said they believe they have 1 to 3 super admins in each SaaS application. When we actually looked into it, we found that in reality, most organizations have 13 to 19 super admins per application. And so this poses a huge security risk. And so one of the things, this is a live kind of quick video that shows you basically how we set up the policies. But we basically can say, right, when the administrator threshold exceeds a certain amount, whether that's 2, 3, right, then we can set up a policy which says, maybe disable the user and create a Zendesk ticket. You can send an email to the security channel in Slack. A message to the security channel in Slack. You can send an email to that user telling them that they are not able to create their super admin profile, right? So we can customize these any which way. We can send custom emails and go ahead and write those templates in here. But really this helps to protect, because this is one of the biggest risks that we see. We actually had a client that we were working with who was filing for an IPO. They're a large tech company. And upon leveraging BetterCloud, they discovered that one of their admins, who shouldn't have been granted super admin privilege, but had been, right, as they were growing rapidly, they had given more people admin access than needed, had accidentally set all of their Google groups to public, which meant that all of the sensitive information that was going around in the finance groups, in the HR groups, was actually accessible to anyone inside of the organization. And so, it was a mistake by someone who wasn't really clear on what they were doing, but had huge implications for the entire organization and the amount of data that was then exposed. And so these are the types of things that leveraging BetterCloud, it allows you to protect against that by both doing investigation and remediation on what's happened in the past, but also setting up these policies moving forward so that you don't run into a situation where you've granted the wrong level of control. And to further this, I don't have a screenshot in here, but one of the things we do is we allow you to create much more granular roles than the native console, so that you can actually go and customize the different roles and responsibilities that someone can have in BetterCloud. So in many cases, maybe that's view only across the SaaS applications, or taking specific actions, but not giving them the ability to do all actions. A little bit about why we're different. So BetterCloud leverages APIs. We're an API-based platform. And so this allows for real-time data syncing and greater visibility into the applications and the controls, the settings, than many of the native applications or like an identity provider. And we're able to really view the context and all of the details around groups, files, settings, advanced configurations, the users, the different administrators, and contractors. The second thing is, as I've mentioned around really the data discovery and identification, is we really normalize this data in a single pane of glass. And so we allow you to do a deep dive on a specific user or across users. We allow you to look at specific files and do investigation. We allow you to search for, let me see all of my G Suite files that have been shared externally. And so you could go and do quick discovery to make sure you're looking for files that have, kind of broad criteria, or you could be specific, right? Show me any file in G Suite or in Dropbox that was shared externally with these domains, which are your competitors, right? Or with personal Gmails. And you can quickly get insights into any of those files and be able to take action right away. And so BetterCloud is monitoring these thousands of detectors in order to give you the deep context you need, which both triggers alerts, but allows you to really do the investigation to remediate. And then the last piece of it is, today we actually have about 200 actions that you can take in the platform. You can also create unlimited automated workflows, as I showed, in that screenshot, so that you can actually be proactive and kick off these different workflows. And then we show you workflow reports upon completion. We've got audit logs, so you can see everything that's being done in the different SaaS systems by the different BetterCloud users. And so you have really good context to all of the different steps, the alerts that have been triggered, how they've been managed, the remediation that's been taken, and then as workflows are kicked off, you've got context there as well for those alerts and those workflows. And kind of the last thing that I'll touch on, I know we're coming up on time, is really just around our security. Given the access that BetterCloud has to these SaaS technologies, security is at the forefront of everything that we do. So unlike other providers in the market who may do some of this work, our company is fully dedicated to managing and working with the tech companies and the SaaS providers to really ensure we're managing and securing them properly. And so we have a dedicated and significant investment in our security team, focused on both the security of our platform to ensure we have the right level of controls, that we're meeting the compliance standards and certification standards, but then also as a company, We have very strict guidelines as a company in the way that we work and that we do business. And we've got over 100 engineers in Atlanta focused on the platform and the product and the security of our technology. So with that, I think we've got like 2 minutes, Megan, if there were maybe any questions that we wanted to cover off.
Sure. Thank you for that, Emily. That was fantastic. It does look like we have a few questions here. The first one is from James. Will BetterCloud be integrating with additional applications in the future? What if I want to connect an application that is not on BetterCloud's integration roadmap?
That's a great question. We actually get this a lot from our customers. So our goal is to really help with the settings, the configurations, the file management, and the automation in the most heavily used IT applications. And so that's how we really arrived at that list that I showed at the beginning of the 10 SaaS applications that we integrate with today. And so these are, those are the areas where the sensitive data exists and where IT is heavily involved in managing and securing those applications. We do see significant requests from customers around integrating with other technologies. And so we kind of have a two-pronged approach. One is we do have a roadmap for other connectors for applications that are heavily managed and used by IT. So that's one area where we'll continue to put out connectors. But then really our strategy in the future is that we're planning to open up our APIs to allow our customers and really allow our service providers to help them to create custom applications or custom integrations and connectors so that really organizations and our clients in theory should be able to connect any application and set policies and manage it, assuming it has an open API, through BetterCloud. So that's kind of our strategy. And you'll start to hear from us more in the future about those plans and our roadmap. But really our vision is that we want customers to be able to connect to any application to manage, secure, and set workflows and policies and automation moving forward.
Great, thank you for that. I think we have time for one more. This is from Mary. How does BetterCloud work with identity as a service providers? Are you competitive?
That comes up a lot as well. So in the past, when it was often perceived that we were competitive with identity as a service providers, just because it wasn't very clear kind of how the overlap worked. As we've worked with clients and some of the identity as a service providers, we actually find that our technologies are very complementary. And that's for a number of reasons. But we recently, in late May, announced our partnership with Okta, which we're extremely excited about, and we're seeing significant momentum with the Okta team. And our products now integrate, which means that alerts in Okta can trigger actions in BetterCloud and vice versa. And really the biggest area for opportunity is around the onboarding and offboarding piece. So for many of our customers who use an IDaaS provider, whether it be Okta, OneLogin, Google, others, the identity as a service provider really handles steps A and Z, the onboarding, the provisioning of the licenses and the deprovisioning. And what we do is we handle all of the steps in between. And so, steps B through Y, right? Which means they can turn on licenses on or off or suspend them, but we can handle the access to the right files, the right groups, the access to Slack channels, email signatures, right? And so we take care of that whole automation piece around onboarding and offboarding. We actually, on Okta's website, they've got a section for partners and they feature BetterCloud as one of their top integration technology partners. And we actually came up with this kind of illustration of the iceberg. And at the top of the iceberg, which is what the identity as a service providers do, is really around the SSO, the multi-factor, the provisioning and deprovisioning. And then under, the surface is all of the things that BetterCloud does behind the scenes, which is the continuous monitoring and policy enforcement, things like entitlements, the configuration, user and admin activity, and different settings. So we take care of all of that automation piece for the identity as a service providers.
Great. Well, it looks like we have run out of time. I want to say a special thanks to everyone for attending, and also thank you, Emily, for your help with this webinar. It was very informative. For those who are on the webinar, we will be making the slides as well as the recording available to you, so look for that in your inbox later today. Again, thank you all for attending. Emily, thank you so much, and look forward to learning more later.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.